excuse me, waiting on you guys to get on in here. Waiting on you guys to get on in the room. How y'all doing, man? Glad to have everybody tuning in. Waiting on everybody to pile on in. How's the family doing? I hope you guys had a productive day today. Since my last live last night, I do the late night creeps. I do the late night lives. You guys are in here. We in here. What's up, Jibola? I see you. There's this tether. That tether Jibola has been calling us Akatas. I see you with your crooked hairline. There's a Nigerian tether sitting up here trying to talk greasy about us getting reparations. And he fled. I see you over there looking like a manager at Uber. We'll get on you in a second. We got to give well wishes to our brother, Bronny James. And that's number one. For those who don't know, Bronny James, how old is Bronny James? What, 18? LeBron James' son. Man, he collapsed over at USC from a damn cardiac arrest. My God. Thank God he's all right. Thank God our brother is all right. That is horrible. Man, I know the family was going through it. I know they were. I can only imagine, something like that happening to the beautiful family. They're such a beautiful family. And hopefully he's going to pull through 100%. From what I understand, he's doing better now. But that's a major scare. That brother had a cardiac arrest, basically a heart attack at that young age. And we're showing sensitivity to the family. We don't want to minimize that. The family's going through that tragic scare. That's enough right there. But naturally, the conversation is going to kind of steer into what the hell, right? Why is an 18 or why are all of these 18-year-olds and young athletes having heart attacks and cardiac arrests? And we can act like the elephant ain't in the damn room, right? Excuse me. I mean, damn. I mean, it's another coincidence. How many coincidences do we have out here? We all know what's going on out here. And I put up some tweets, and again, I'm putting this up after we saw that our brother was all right. I'm putting up some tweets where basically our brother LeBron, they basically forced him to get the jizzle. And then he was, reluctantly, he got the jizzle. And then he said, yeah, my family, we all got, the jizzle. And over at USC, I put up some information at USC. For a while, they were making it mandatory for them to get the jizzle up there. So, you put two and two together, you will get four. And people thought we were rocking the tinfoil kufi when we were telling people to really, really keep an eye out on that jizzle. Remember when folks wanted to argue people down and they were trying to shame us for saying, hey, man, the jizzle might not be where it's at. We were warning people about that. And they wanted to play everybody off like, oh, that's Hotep talk, right? Yeah, y'all are conspiracy theorists talking that Hotep stuff. I'm gonna get me a jizzle. These good white people in the government love me. Yeah, okay, all right. Shout out to Kyrie. He knew what the deal was. That's why they were getting on his case so hard. He knew. You can tell the people that they attack when we start telling people, hey man, y'all really need to watch out for the jizzle. Notice how we were attacked. They were attacking me heavy. My brother Rizza Islam, they were attacking him, taking his pages down. And I'm glad he stood on business. He stood on a square, warning people about that, screaming it loud. Hey, man, this ain't it. Redman, shout out to Redman. If you watch the show Power, Redman had a recurring role on the Power series. And then they replaced him. This season, it was a whole new dude. They killed him off, but it was a whole new dude playing his role. And a lot of people were like, what the hell happened to Redman? Redman was like, hey, they wanted me to take the jizzle. If I wanted to work, I got to take this jizzle. And Redman said, I'm cool. I just passed that job up. I don't blame them. And in Hollywood, to get on some of those sets, they made it mandatory for people to take them jizzles around, definitely around 2021, around that time. When we did American Maroon, we were coming in after that. It wasn't mandatory to take the jizzle, but what we had to do, we had to have COVID testers on the set. We had to have some licensed COVID testers. It was weird, and everybody had to come in and take a test, and that was another major expense for the film. But luckily, they didn't make it mandatory that people had to have the jizzle on set by the time we did our film. But as we know, our brother Jamie Foxx, he was on a film and they made everybody take the jizzle. It was mandatory then, and then we saw what happened to our brother. He barely made it back alive out the game. So, man, when people talk about certain things from the dominant society having a certain level of distrust, there's a healthy distrust that we can have. And Ice Cube, even Ice Cube, they tried to get him. They tried to, y'all know, they offered Ice Cube one movie. It was a movie role. They were going to give him like $9 million. Ice Cube was like, sure. And then they say, you got to take the jizzle. He was like, I'm good. He passed on it. Ice Cube didn't take it. Yeah. Smart move. Very smart move. Yeah. So, prayers up to our brother, man. Hopefully he's going to pull through and be good money. I hope he's going to be good money. I hope he's going to be straight. But look, man, some of these, everything ain't a conspiracy, man. Sometimes when things don't add up, that means you're using the wrong equation. Just like this dude, Obama's chef. Again, that story, that's a very weird story. I still want people to understand what's going on with that. Obama's chef, the brother, he was the chef in the White House, and then he became Obama's personal chef. Oh, dude drowned over there in Martha's Vineyard. And from what I understand, he was a pretty decent swimmer. And he drowned in like 8 feet of water. Yeah. And what's interesting, do y'all know that the Clintons, they had a chef too? The Clintons had a chef. It was a white guy. He was their chef for years. Um, Walter Sheeb. I think that's his name. Walter Sheeb. He was the Clinton chef in the Clinton White House. He died the same exact way back in 2015. He drowned. Now, what the hell? Ain't that a hell of a coincidence? Y'all look that up. Look up on Walter Sheeb. He was Hillary and Bill Clinton's personal chef in the White House. His ass drowned. Man, you better put the tinfoil kufi on me. That sounds weird. Why all these chefs drowning? Right? Does that make sense? That's a hell of a coincidence, huh? You up in this White House and you're their personal chef, so God knows what you've heard. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine you're the chef, so no telling what you heard in there. And then all of a sudden they get you up out of here. Huh? They were like, oh, let's get them out of here. And this is just conjecture. They're like, hey, we don't want them writing a book about something later on. We don't want them going overseas on some espionage, giving up some secrets to Russia. You know what I'm saying? The white supremacists, they think like that. They'll sacrifice somebody real quick if they think you got some valuable information that you can use to undermine folks. Right? Some heavy stuff here, man. But again, prayers up to our brother Bronny James, man. That broke my heart when the news broke this morning. That was horrible. Horrible news. Another conversation we've been having. The white supremacists are using. There's that new video with Suki Hana. They're like in somewhere in some dusty area, twerking like crazy. Just a bunch of dusty, musty, coked up looking hood rats, and that's something that we don't co-sign. I see the tether in here. some white supremacists, they've been using that video like, hey, hey, aha, look at this black culture. And the Sukihanas and the Sexy Reds, that's an attack on black culture. That's an attack on our culture. Now, this tether here, Jabola, hop on in. Yeah? Say what you said earlier. Get on here. Yeah, get on here, Jabola. Yeah, say what you said earlier, because you were. This is a tether who was like, yeah, that black culture, this, and y'all don't be condemning that. Hop on, man. You and your hairline, hop on. You know, and say what you said. You know, we'd like a musty opinion. Yeah, because I don't take kindly to fleeing tethers coming around FBA circles pointing the finger about what's degenerate. And speaking of that, Suki Hana, let's be real, she's running around telling people she's Nigerian. So nigga, is that your folks? Do we need to question you? Because she's done several interviews talking about her good Nigerian coochie and all of this stuff. So if you're going to point the finger, is that somebody from your community? And do we need to have a conversation about degenerates coming over here, um, infusing our culture with filth, right? And yeah, you haven't accepted the invite to get on. Yeah. And you were calling Foundation of Black Americans all types of akatas, but you won't bring your musty ass up in here though. Say what you got to say up here. Say it with your chest. Swat the flies away and then say it with your chest. You dig? We all types of akatas, but your bad hairline ass is sitting right up here in New Jersey somewhere, eating off avocados. And what's that other preacher? He's been copping pleas. A lot of the tethers are copping pleas because we're calling them out for running around white folks, doing all of that, performative buck dancing. We keep seeing over and over these tethers running around white people talking about we 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 don't need no reparation. We need to stop begging for reparation. We nigga, y'all cut the French out. Why are you speaking French? Because you ain't qualified to get no reparations. Therefore, you're not qualified to speak on it. Y'all tethers are not going to represent us. We're not letting that happen. See, we're delegitimizing these tether representatives who try to come around and represent us. That's just not happening. You represent fleeing. Go ahead and represent your fleeing. You're not going to represent us. We're not letting you act the spokespersons for us. That game is over. And this is why they're very desperate and upset because that ain't working, because it's a one-trick pony thing. The white supremacists, they've been doing that for a long time. They'll go get a tether who they know has secret vitriol for us, and they know that they're not connected to the soil like we are. So they'll program these Negroes to say any and everything, and there's no real repercussion for them because they'll go hide them niggas somewhere. They go hide in some tether community somewhere. See, that's how they've been getting away so long. We Nobody knows these Negroes. They'll pop up at a protest somewhere. They'll prop up on the news, and they'll start talking about, yeah, the black community ain't shit, and we need to stop begging these white peoples, and we need to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and stop begging for reparations. And we all looking around like, whose man is this? Where did they come from? And we realize nobody knows these Negroes. That's because they're handpicked by the white supremacists. So we're delegitimizing these folks because we're checking everybody's paperwork now. The paperwork check is heavy. And now niggas want to cop please when we check that paperwork. Well, we're the same boat that dropped us off in Jamaica, nigga, is the same boat that dropped us off in America. Shut up. They want to talk that same boat dropped us. Shut up, nigga. We ain't playing that game. You ain't FBA. It's FBA over here, homie. You ain't speaking for us. Just like I can't speak for oxtails and curry goat. Y'all cannot speak for us. And that's the new norm. And y'all just got to deal with that. Let's get some people in here. A lot of folks in here.